You know those days that are just average, nothing to speak of really? No highs, no lows. Sometimes they feel a bit boring. Well, last week, I got a reminder to appreciate those boring days, the calm before the storm, as they say, and I learned a few things along the way.
Salut, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Beth, and we're
Moving to France.
We're transforming an old townhouse into our home and an artsy event space.
So come on along.
Here are some things I find interesting about an average French grocery store. You can buy quail eggs, œufs de caille. This took me a minute to figure out because in the States, you typically don't see optional bulk packaging like this. You wouldn't break open a shrink-wrapped multi-pack. But with these you can, and what it says is that the price of the 6-pack is €6.61, or you can buy one bottle for €1.10, and a similar price for the Tetra Pak. But this is what I'm really here for. This is our favorite coffee, and the little corner store that we usually go to doesn't carry it, so I better get two. We also love the Poulain dark chocolate. It's made right down the road in Blois. Patrick found a really old chocolate tin hidden in the rafters of the house, and it's the same brand. I'll put a link to his short video about it in the description below. Another interesting thing is that there are far fewer breakfast cereals than you see in American grocery stores, which admittedly have a ridiculous amount of them. Here you mostly see cereals aimed at children, and a lot of them involve chocolate. This has led to me eating a lot more oatmeal, so that's probably good. One thing they do have a very wide selection of is jars of pâté. I've never seen so much pâté in my life. It's everywhere here in France, and obviously very popular. Wild boar, rabbit, duck, deer. I'm not into it. But I do love the canned tuna, which you can get plain or in these ingenious ready-to-eat tuna salads. They have lots of flavors with different condiments or things like olives mixed in. This one has tomatoes. I've tried a few and they're really good and super convenient. Okay, here's what really surprised me about French grocery stores. The potato chip selection. I'm not even really a chip person normally, but the French are on another level when it comes to their chips. Like, whoa. There are so many interesting flavors that I've never seen in the US. This is just a few. I've seen other things like pesto. I have an Indian curry bag of chips in my pantry right now. It's crazy. Mondays are usually pretty quiet. A lot of things are closed. Like this new cafe that I really like called Nomads. The umami burger is my favorite. It has grilled salmon, wasabi sauce, caramelized onions, pickled ginger, and cheddar. So my first lesson of the week, average things can be wonderful. Even a bathroom that you can't wait to remodel can be awesome. I finally had hot water again after several days and had my first warm shower. It felt luxurious. If you've been watching our videos for a while, you know that I like things to be cute. Put your fruit in a pretty bowl. Suddenly it's super cute. I appreciate it when our everyday things are nice to look at. Side note, anyone else find it hilarious that this sugar brand is called Daddy? Anyway, this need for prettiness and coziness was the reason we bought furniture and decor right away, even though some pieces might not be exactly what we want, and we have a lot of renovating to do. We just can't live comfortably in a sparsely furnished house. But the furniture also needs to function well. I spent a lot of time working on my iPad, editing these videos and creating other content for our social media accounts, doing marketing and research for our future workshop business. I was awkwardly sitting on this couch and using this tiny low table to work at. It was ergonomically awful, and I was having a lot of neck and back pain. And it's the same couch where I lounge and watch TV at the end of the day, so I wasn't keeping a good division between work and rest. So that was lesson 2. Designing your space is important, even if it's only temporary. I needed a functional workspace that allowed me to keep my work separated from the space where I relax. So I created a little desk area in this corner. It's cute, comfortable, has an awesome view, and I can easily put my work down and take a break or an evening stroll. I was working, but also waiting on the washing machine to be delivered. I was a bit distracted. But I finally got it, and now it's sitting in our grand salon, much to my disappointment. Which brings me to lesson 3. Think through the whole scenario and read the fine print. Just before the lave-linge arrived, I realized the tracking info said that it would be delivered at the truck. What? I had made a poor choice. I had ordered it from Leroy's, or Leroy Merlin, and they used a third-party delivery service. Rookie mistake! I should have gone with a full-service appliance store like Darty, the ones who delivered our stove. They use their own team to deliver it and install it in the right room, even if it's upstairs. This delivery company wanted to just leave the washing machine on the sidewalk, about 12 feet from my door. So that was pretty inconvenient. I politely asked the delivery man if he would please just push it over to my front door and muscle it over the threshold because I couldn't lift it at all. Washing machines are freaking heavy. So he did, and then I pushed it the rest of the way into the house where it will sit until Patrick gets here. It was totally my fault. I just failed to notice the details. The tracking info said it would be delivered at the truck, but that was a totally new concept to me. But the day ended on a bright note with me leveling up my griddled egg game. Turned out much better than my previous attempt. So now that I have 2 appliances that are brand new, sparkling, beautiful, but as yet unusable, because stove can't use because of the electric, washing machine can't use because it's sitting downstairs and need to get it upstairs and hooked up to the water. So I'm going to be heading out to the laundromat and get some lunch while I'm out. I think I'll go to the Nomads Cafe for that umami burger. Right, got a book, iced coffee, change. Okay, my wallet, everything I need. Oh, got a new raincoat. There's a sun break right now, but it changes really fast. Alright. Some dirty laundry in here and my detergent. Ready to go. Washed my clothes, had lunch, got that umami burger, came back and hung everything up because it was still damp. Someone was using the One Good dryer. And I used those wire things. Turns out they're for making an extra row or hanging stuff from a curtain rod or something like that. Then I went outside to pick some flowers to draw and saw something awesome that I hadn't noticed before. We have a huge fuchsia plant. Beautiful things are everywhere. Make sure you're looking and listening. I did some observational drawing, looking closely at a hibiscus flower. And then I heard the distinctive sound of yet another big balloon in the sky. Y'all, this is right above our back garden. I love living under a hot air balloon highway. This cheese, Le Pavé, is one of our favorites. Occasionally you can find it at Trader Joe's in the States, and that's actually where we first discovered it. But it's not rare at all here. Every store has it. In a land of new and novel things, it feels familiar. I know exactly what it's going to taste like. But one thing I didn't know was how to properly cut it. Yes, there's a specific way to correctly slice each type of cheese in France. Patrick and I have a tendency to just hack into it any which way, like total animals. But I wanted to show this delicious cheese the respect it deserves. I also really dislike embarrassing myself in public and feeling like an idiot, which happens a lot when you're in a foreign country. And that brings me to number 5. When you feel out of place, turn your frustration into curiosity and learn something. So, what I'm reading, I think the general rule is you're cutting it like a cake from the center out. If you have a square or round cheese like this with rinds, because each serving is supposed to have some rind and some cheese. So like you cut a little piece like that. And this cheese, I like the rind when it's really fresh. After it's a day old or so, it starts getting a little more funky. I don't like it, but like right now, I would totally eat the whole thing. And it's freaking delicious. So, bon appetit. It started as another average day. I ran a few errands, and while I was out, I stopped at a bakery. I hadn't had any fancy pastries yet this trip, so I needed to fix that. Back at home, the weather was looking a bit dramatic. It was pretty gray and nice and cool. I had the kitchen window open, just enjoying the breeze, and also my new kitchen mood lighting, and of course, my perfect eclair. With coffee, a perfect afternoon treat after running some errands. And now, back to video editing. And then the pouring rain started. At first, I thought it was lovely. Then I heard a sound, like a rushing river, and ran towards the noise. Not good. Luckily, while frantically trying to make a phone call with my terrible French, I heard a work truck outside. They were clearing the storm drain. I walked over and asked them if they could help me.
Okay, so he said because the cellar's made of dirt, it's not paved, naturally water will just seep up into it like this when there's a big runoff, and there's nothing they can do about it, and in a little while the water will just be gone. It'll basically just take care of itself. So it was scary when the water was overflowing, but it never actually reached the stairs here, and I guess it's a pretty normal thing in a storm.
So the week ended with this little reminder. An eclair and a flood. Life can throw them both at you in one day. Savor each eclair that you get.
Thanks for watching, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video.